the $100 MBA Show, the business podcast that gives you only the best business lessons every single day with our daily 10-minute business lessons for the real world. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. And today's episode is a guest teacher episode. Today we have a very, very special guest teacher, Kate Erickson from Entrepreneur on Fire. And you guys are in for a treat today. She's going to be teaching you how to create systems in your business. Kate has done all the work already for you. She's going to share with you the same systems they use at Entrepreneur on Fire to grow a 7-figure business. She's going to show you how to create a system so every time you do anything, you have a system in place, and later on you can train other people to do the same system. This is where businesses go pro. This is when you start systematizing the things that you do to build and grow and run your business. And Kate is a fantastic teacher. I can't wait to get into today's episode, so let's get down to business. Today's episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by HostGator. HostGator's always got your back when it comes to your business website. And guys, when it comes to your business website, you don't want to take chances. You got to go with the pros. That's why you got to go with HostGator. With their 24/7 live support via phone, chat, or email, they always are there for you. Just trying to set up your business website and have no idea? Get on support. They'll walk you through it step by step. Plus, they don't only do website hosting, they do domain name services, marketing services, design services, and a whole lot more. To save 30% on web hosting, just go to HostGator.com/MBA30. Again, that's HostGator.com/MBA30. Your guest teacher today, Kate Erickson, is the content creator and community leader over at EntrepreneurOnFire.com. Entrepreneur on Fire is an award-winning podcast, a best of iTunes podcast, and they are the leader in podcast education with their course, Podcaster's Paradise. They do a whole lot more than just that. They do events, they have software, they got a whole bunch of stuff. So check them out at eofire.com. Kate is also John Lee Dumas's, the founder of Entrepreneur on Fire's better half. They're partners in both life and business, just like Nicole and I. And in fact, they're somewhat our neighbors in San Diego. They're a 20-minute walk from our house. But what Kate's known for at Entrepreneur on Fire is building incredible systems. She does a lot of training for their virtual staff, and she put the systems in place to train them. And in fact, Kate speaks about this topic, creating systems, at conferences around the world. And that's why we're so happy to have her on the $100 MBA Show. She's an absolute rock star, one of the most hardworking entrepreneurs that we know. And we have her today to teach you this great lesson. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it on to Kate, and then I'll be back to wrap up the lesson and give you some final advice. So take it away, Kate.
What's up, everyone? My name is Kate, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I'm going to be teaching you about how to create systems in your business. So, let's get down to business. The first step for any business when it comes to creating systems is to take inventory. In order to do this most effectively, I recommend taking out a sheet of paper and letting that piece of paper follow you around for one whole week. During that week, every time you work on anything for your business, write it down. Nothing's too small, nothing's too big. Include everything. Taking inventory of the things you do in your business will not only help you ensure that you're working most efficiently, meaning that you're working on things that are actually contributing to moving your business forward, but it will also help you figure out which tasks you're doing on a repetitive basis. Sometimes we get in this autopilot mode where we do things without even realizing that we're doing them. These tasks, along with any type of repetitive task in our business, are prime time for creating systems around to help save you time. The purpose here is to not feel like we're recreating the wheel every single time we sit down to do something. Creating systems in our businesses creates freedom in our lives. Some tasks that you might find on your inventory list are things like checking email, engaging in a community Facebook group, recording podcast episodes, drafting blog posts, creating an opt-in page. These are just a few examples. Okay, so on to step 2, which is to write out the steps. At the end of that first week, after you've taken inventory of everything you work on in your business, we want to sort the tasks we see on our list into daily, weekly, monthly, and one-time task columns. A whiteboard can be really super useful for this. Then, once we have our tasks nicely separated based on how often we do them, we want to select the task we know has the biggest impact in our business, and we're going to start writing out the steps for that task. The task that has the biggest impact in our business might be something that helps our business run. For example, the podcast you're listening to right now is a daily podcast, and it's a huge part of helping the $100 MBA business run. So if Omar and Nicole were looking at their inventory list, then their daily podcast would certainly be high on their list of the things that impact their business in a big way. Also remember, as you're going through these steps, that creating systems is a process or a system in and of itself, meaning that it takes time to do this. So instead of looking at this as a massive project like, oh my gosh, I need to create a system for everything in my business, let's just look at it as an ongoing project where you'll select one single task at a time to create a system around. Once you've finished with that one single task, then we'll select another task and start creating a system around that one. So once you've selected the very first task you want to create a system around, because of all the items on your list, this first task has a big impact on your business, you'll want to just take out a piece of paper or whatever type of note-taking system that you use. If you prefer online, I really love Workflowy. And you're going to write out each step you take every time you perform that task. There's no right or wrong answers here. Just draw from your memory bank of the last time that you performed that task. Think about each individual step it took in order for you to complete that task. Do not wait for the next time you do that task to write out the steps. Take imperfect action and we'll correct course along the way. It's okay if you end up missing a couple steps because our systems will evolve and grow and we can always tweak or update them as we improve them. So you've taken inventory, and of all your inventory items, you've chosen one task that you know has a big impact on your business, and you've sat down and you've written out each step it takes for you to complete that task. If I were writing out the steps that I take each time I write a blog post, my list might look something like this. First, I need to choose a topic or a focus for the post. Next, I might research that topic. Then, I might want to create an outline to help me get the draft started. After that, I'm going to actually write my first draft. You kind of get the idea here. Once we've written out the steps, it's on to step 3, which is to determine efficiencies. As we look at the list of steps we go through each time we perform our task, we want to assign each step to one of the following: automate, delegate, or batch. Your task may include a little bit of each of these 3 things, or it might just include one of them. Most oftentimes, we're going to choose automate if we know that there's a tool or resource available that could help us with that step. We're going to choose delegate if we know that there's a step that can easily be taught to someone else on our team, or that we could easily hire someone else to perform for us. And we're going to choose batch if the step is really something that should involve us. Batching is simply taking something that you do regularly, and instead of doing it one time each weekday for an entire week, so let's say one time each of the 5 weekdays, you might do it on one day 5 times in a row. You're batching that step or task in order to get it done all at once versus spreading it out across a longer period of time. Determining efficiencies is where we really get to save ourselves time, so this is perhaps the most important step. Once you've determined your efficiencies, it's on to the final step, step 4, and that's to document your process. You could use a piece of paper to document it, super simple, or you could use an online tool like Google Drive. You could create a Google Word doc that allows you to add images and you could write out each of the steps. And what's great about Google Drive is that it makes it super easy for you to share it with others who might be involved in that task or system as well. If you want to get really into it and check out something like Asana or Sweet Process, These are both online tools that can help you document systems and then assign tasks to different team members. If you're a systems geek like me, or you obsess over sticky notes the same way that I do, then I know that you're probably super fired up to create systems in your business. But remember, this is a process in and of itself. So we're going to take our time and just select one task at a time to create a system around. Having that focus on that one task is going to help you do this much more efficiently. So to recap those 4 steps that you can follow in order to start creating systems in your business today is step number 1, take inventory. Step number 2 is write out the steps. Step number 3 is to determine efficiencies. And step number 4 is to document your system. Don't leave this one out. It's super important. All right, guys, you've been hanging with Kate today. And if you want to continue learning about creating systems in your business, you can visit eofire.com/systems for more. Thanks so much again for joining me today.
Today's episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by HostGator. HostGator is an all-in-one website hosting solution. We use HostGator for both the $100 MBA and Webinar Ninja because we love their support and we love the fact that everything's under one roof. You can register domain names, you can secure SSL certificates so you can have secure checkouts for your products. You can install WordPress in one click. And best of all, they have great customer service where you can just contact at any time of day, any day of the week with their 24/7 live support via phone, chat, or email. And they can walk you through every step of the way. Even if you're just a beginner and you just want to set up your website, get on the support and they'll walk you through it. And they do this all without breaking the bank. With the massive discount they're giving you, the listener of the $100 MBA Show today, you can get your complete website hosting solution for only $5 a month. Just go to HostGator.com/MBA30. Again, that's HostGator.com/MBA30. Guys, what Kate taught today was absolute gold. I can't tell you how much our business changed when we started putting systems in place. You're not able to grow if you don't have a system for everything you do. You need to automate things. And the only way you can automate is you know how it works. You have a step-by-step procedure. And therefore, you can pass it on to somebody else easily and effectively, and they have a roadmap. A lot of what Kate taught today is what we exactly implemented in our business. So you may want to re-listen to the lesson again, take down some notes, and see how you can apply it to your business right now. Don't delay, guys. I know it takes time to create a system, but you're going to thank yourself for it. It's a great investment of time. And then once you train one person on that system, and you can train them on how to create systems, and they can create systems for you. I love it. Kate, thank you so much for that awesome lesson. Congratulations to you and John for all the success you guys have over at Entrepreneur on Fire. Guys, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for subscribing to the show, leaving us iTunes ratings and reviews. You guys are absolutely awesome. But before I go, I want to leave you with this. When you talk about creating systems, now you're getting pro. Now you're getting strategic about your business. You can't take your business to the next step if you don't have the right strategies in place, if you don't have the right systems in place. You're just hustling, and really just making a mess of what you're doing because you're not really tracking what's happening. It's hard for you to improve your business and improve your systems if you don't have one to analyze. So take the time and make your systems. All right, guys, I'll check you in tomorrow's episode. I'll see you then. Take care.